What's up, guys? Kind of an informal video. I've been getting this question a lot lately, and that is, what is my favorite resistance band, barbell, footplate, and also the bands that I am using? And again, I always say this is my personal preferences, and this is kind of what's happening as of right now. It does not mean this is the absolute best. In fact, I did do a recent video, or fairly recent video, because I've done a lot of them, but this is probably the most updated one, talking about the best bands, barbells, footplates, bringing us up to speed. If you guys are curious, I'll link that down below. But I think people just want to know, based on all the equipment that I have, which ones are kind of my go-tos. And some of these answers aren't the best answer. I'm just going to lay it out there for you guys. Sometimes it literally is, I will go over to this storage shelves over here to my left, and I will just randomly select a barbell or just kind of mix it up a bit. I'll pick a random foot plate. Sometimes I even picked my Nintendo Wii board as of recently in a couple videos ago. Some of you guys laughed at that. Gotta try at your own risk, but definitely works and serves as a foot plate. It just goes to show you don't have to spend a lot of money. So I don't want to get too long-winded, but I thought this would be a good time to highlight something that was gifted to me. If you guys want to make your own tile, they can do this for you over at Freedom Fitness Equipment. I believe they sell used fitness equipment. Great guy over there. I gave him one of the graphics I had that was on a shirt that I had designed, and he just put this on a tile. The reason I highlight this is, of course, you can get individual gym tiles, and this works out pretty good, but it actually works out as a nice little foot plate base. I think you really need a base for the foot plate, but let's just say you want to protect the bottom for whatever reason, or you just wanted something, you're out in maybe in the grass or dirt or something like that, or rough terrain outside. This gym tile actually works out pretty good. So if you want to make your own little custom logo, send it to him. I believe he makes these. So I just want to showcase that and just say thank you publicly for sending that. Now, when it comes to the barbells, some of it, again, personal preference. A lot of these are great. I don't want to say these are the absolute best. This tends to be, though, what I've been gravitating towards recently. And some of this is just because I like the aesthetics, I like the way it feels, and I like that it's made in the USA. So I'm talking about these X3 barbells specifically. I used to say I love the small one. I'm always gonna have a soft spot on this because this is what turned me on to resistance bands. But aluminum, lightweight, nice knurling for what it is. But I'm gonna turn a lot of people off just by saying that. But I'll give you guys some other options for sure. I just find this X3, the long bar, is actually the better one. And I should say this too, because people are gonna say, well, Mike, you're just shilling for X3. I don't even think I even get an affiliate for this. You have to actually buy into the system first to even get this. So that's gonna push people out. I'm just laying it out there thick as far as what I'm using. I tend to use this one because it fares nice with the foot plate. I also just like the knurling. I do love the Clench barbell, the Clench barbell. That thing is great, the carbon fiber one. That's good in its own right. You do need 34-inch bands, but I'm a creature of habit. And just because it sits over there aesthetically, I think it just looks nice. I like looking at it, and it's a big thing I've always said. With any equipment, if you like to grab it and pick it up, you're more likely to use it. So I just like the aluminum, I like the knurling. I like that it's USA made. And I think it's a sweet spot distance where with the foot plate I'm gonna mention, I actually like this kind of neutral grip here. And then it also works out for a wide grip, doing around the back, around the bench, chest presses, which I tend to do. So that's where I think the short bar or a shorter bar doesn't work out as well. So I just feel like this is just a nice sweet spot, this X3 long bar. And I believe I said this before, they don't even really want to promote this one. From what I've heard from them, they really made this because people asked for it. So take that as you will. Now, that's gonna be pricey for some people, and maybe you don't wanna spend that. I would recommend the GEKU aluminum bar. That thing can come undone once in a while, but I was gonna pull it out. I actually don't know where it is. I'm sure it's somewhere nearby, but I couldn't find it in my storage shelf. I possibly could have put it in my basement, or I could have even given it away, but that's a great barbell that is much cheaper, definitely smaller, just made overseas in China. Second best, or if you don't want to, maybe you don't want to get into the bind of the X3 system, or this is third best, however you want to bookmark this. This is the one from Heavy Duty Bar. It is heavy duty, it is heavy. It's not aluminum, this is stainless steel, I believe. Has great knurling. I believe this is made in Europe. It could be made in China. I think it's a European-based company. Not sure on that. Independently rotating sides, which has a pro and con to that. I've touched on that. And just a solid bar. The only downside to this, very close to I said in the first video for this, it's like a Harambe combined with a X3 bar, because it's like the Harambe type of heavy feeling barbell, but has the hooks like an X3 bar. So that will be kind of very close competitor to that long bar. The only downside is it's kind of heavy. So if you're doing things like around the back presses, you kind of got to support the weight. Not a giant deal, but that'd be something to kind of consider. But maybe that's something you actually like. So definitely very cool barbell in its own right, very close to that. When it comes to the foot plate, the cyber plate is my favorite. Again, people are gonna get turned off by this answer because it is so crazy in price, and I totally understand that, but I just like the aesthetics, the stainless steel, the rollers. It is a totally different experience. Might not be worth it. It is excessive. You could totally get by without this and use a very cheap foot plate, no question. But what I like to do is pair this foot plate with a long bar, and I feel like it's just a nice, ideal dimension. It's not too wide, it's not too short. You can go lengthwise. You also got these little corners to kind of attach bands to and do lateral raises or things of that nature on the side, so the sides actually roll. You have separate reviews for all these videos. The downside, which I've mentioned a few times, is that these rubber stoppers, these rubber bottoms came off pretty quickly, so these two are still off. Actually, you should just take these two off. Plus, if I'm using something like that tile, it's definitely unnecessary. It doesn't really matter if it scratches up too much. But all that to say, Cyberplate is definitely cool. Just out of habit, more so, but these are, and also I do like these are USA made too. These are the performance bands USA made from X3, the version 2. Again, I gotta say, because like Mike, you're just showing for X3. I think I get more percentage cut, I'm believing off the top of my head. And I definitely get more kickback from other companies versus X3. Probably because you cannot use any affiliate links, I don't think. I will link it down below if you guys want to try it. But performance bands are probably my favorite. Again, what I like about these, they're much different than the Performance Generation 1 bands they had, but these are made in USA. They are called, I think, Paraforce Technology. I think they're the only loop band made in the USA, at least I know of this particular caliber, but different kind of consistency. It's kind of rounded around the edges. It is definitely a stiffer, I wouldn't say it's super stiff like Harambe, but it's also not super loose. I just like these because they seem to be like a nice little sweet spot between all the other bands. Again, I like that they're USA made. And I'd probably say, because I got this comment the other day, the force plate of the X3 is over there. And people always say, you know, does that or doesn't it eat up the bands? I can tell you if you got an X3 plate, you're gonna want these performance bands because these are probably one of the most durable bands I have. They definitely are not gonna be prone to tearing. You can kind of tell by looking at them, they're much stronger durability. I'm not exactly sure what kind of latex or how the manufacturing process works, but as far as just durability, stiffness, and I think these things would last a long time. And I just had a habit, they are 41 inches. I've made other videos before where I talked about the pros and cons of different band dimensions and sizes, but I've always said that 41 seems to be like just a general sweet spot if I want to get crazy and get deep in the weeds. I have tons and tons of bands. I've actually moved them downstairs because it was just kind of overkill. I'm sure I'll use them for a different day and different purpose. But that is it though, guys. Thought I would just give you guys that update and give you an answer to that because I get it so much, so I can just copy and paste this to anyone who asks this to me in the future. Any questions, comments, feedback, let me know. I think I do have links so down below for all these things in the description box, as well as even cheaper Amazon, you know, knockoffs and things of the like. So always open to hear your guys' thoughts, any of the resistance band content and stuff. Stay tuned. I actually will be putting out some resistance band content in the near future. Got some little announcements. I'm still trying to work the kinks out and some things, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video.